Today's show, I'm going to talk more news that's coming out about the microchip. The U.S. Navy is planning to implant people with microchips as officials are consulting with quote-unquote presidential candidate Zoltan Istvan, okay, who is a guy who is all about promoting, transhumanism. He's all about promoting the microchip. He's accepted the microchip himself, as you can see in some of these photos, and the military is actually going to, it sounds like they are, teasing this idea of having our armed forces implanted with this microchip, which is extremely dangerous, especially starting there, but it's not surprising. Now you'll have these, our military, if they force all of them to take the microchip, okay, if they make that a policy that if there's the Navy, the Army, the Marines to take the microchip, it certainly is something frightening considering martial law, which is to come, because as most of you know, the microchip won't just be a means of buying goods. It won't just be, for electronic banking and tracking and all those things that are, linked to it. It also will be able to control and manipulate your DNA and things like that. They will have total control of people in a sense. If they get microchip, they'll be able to do all sorts of things to them by having this inside of their body, which is certainly frightening considering martial law is upon us. And if, a lot of people out there have been talking about martial law saying, well, the military wouldn't go along with that. Well, if these people are microchipped, they easily can be deceived through this technology, through having this computer technology inside of them, and who knows what else they can manipulate as far as thought process. It's very, very scary to think of that, what is to come. But this just came out yesterday talking about how the Navy is looking into it. And if you read some of the quotes here, this guy who is just fully promoting transhumanism, Zoltan Istvan, he likes to, he talks all about the merger of humans and machines. He goes on to say the Navy is struggling to create policy around soldier or sailors that enter military service with non-authorized chips embedded in them. It makes perfect sense since the tech has grown so small that chip implants can now do a wide range of things, tracking, making payments, monitoring blood flow and bodily health, and be totally hidden inside of human beings. You can imagine how challenging that would be if someone had a non-authorized chip implant on a nuclear base. So policy has to be created and created soon. So they're talking already about creating this policy to get Navy personnel microchipped. Of course, at first they'll say it along the lines of, well, it's a choice, but it'll soon be forced upon all of these military men. They'll tell them how it's great to monitor their health, how it'll be easy to track them in case a soldier goes and gets lost in war or in combat. They'll say, well, the microchip will be able to find you. Everybody will fall for it and go along with it. This is going to get extremely out of hand and extremely dangerous really, really fast. Now I want to read from the book of Revelation 13, 16 through 17. Most of you already know this verse, but I want to talk about it because it's still important to remember and see what they're doing here. So Revelation 13, 16 through 17, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is 666. Now, if you'll notice, if you watch a lot of these videos on the people who are actually accepting the microchip, and this has to be going on for reasons, obvious reasons. Number one, that they're testing this out because they want to see how people react, because they know that there are people like me and people who listen to this channel who are very aware of what's going on, who are awake, and they don't want to wake up people who are sound asleep out there, with this microchip, and then people going up to them saying, listen, Revelation, they talk about how you can't buy or sell without accepting this chip or accepting this mark, okay? And, they know that people might become awake by hearing this or having people like me point it out. So what I'm seeing is a lot of these people are actually getting the microchip implanted in their left hand, okay, and in their left side, not their right. So that's something to keep an eye out for, because people might fall for it at first because they might start, having people get the microchip, showing it go in their left hand and not their right hand, and people say, well, the Bible says right hand, they're getting it in their left, so it can't be the same thing. And then as people get conditioned to think that it's okay and it's safe, and they see other people have it, and they see celebrities pump it, because that's what they'll do next. They'll have the Kardashians, they'll have all these, Kanye West, all these people will push the microchip and how cool it is. They'll show them on reality shows going to the store, not having to have a wallet, and they'll make it look so cool and sexy, and people just completely fall for it. But I believe that they're going to start with the left hand as a test, so they can make sure that people out there get conditioned. And then, if somebody like me says, listen, this microchip is the mark, this is the mark of the beast, people say, well, the Bible says right hand, so what, is the Bible wrong, or, are you wrong? Because they're getting it in their left. And then eventually they'll condition people into getting it in their right hand, because they'll say, well, if you're a lefty, you're righty, or whatever, and eventually it'll be in the right. But I just want to point that out, because I'm seeing with, the video I did on the guy who was just willingly accepting of the mark of the beast, was excited about it because he wanted to go, buy a sub at a restaurant with his wrist without a wallet, because I guess apparently it's too hard to carry a wallet around these days, because that's just how ridiculous these millennials are becoming. But he also got it in his left hand. This guy appears to have it in his left. But like I said, the big fear here is the fact that you're going to have the military pushing this, the military accepting it. And that's a very dangerous thought, knowing that, what they're going to be able to do with this microchip. We don't even know what what they'll be able to control. If they'll be able to control the mind, what other things through the bloodstream they'll be able to shoot in there and do to you. But the fact that it's the military that's going to begin this testing, you gotta, one has to believe that it'll start with the Navy, it'll spread to the Army, it'll spread to the Marines, and, anybody who's military personnel will have this. They'll sell it on tracking. They'll sell it by saying, listen, if we lose our brothers and sisters in war all the time, people go missing, like, now we'll be able to track them if we need to fly in and pick them up and save them. All the military people will probably fall for it, because they'll say, yeah, it sounds safe. Plus, if I get blown up or something, they'll have some excuse where, well, we'll be able to track you and know that identify your body, all that kind of stuff. Plus, you don't have to have a wallet. Plus, you can't have your identity stolen, blah, blah, blah. And people will, of course, go along with it, especially military personnel. And like I said, the scary thing about it is thinking about martial law and what they have planned to come, knowing that, most of us have been aware that it's coming soon. And a lot of people who are skeptical of it have been saying, well, I don't think our military brothers and sisters will turn on us and go along with it. We think that they'll go against the government. Well, if they're microchipped and they're using the microchip to control them in some, sense of transhumanism, as this guy's talking about, mixing human and machine, because that's exactly what Mr. Zoltan here is talking about. He's saying he's excited about, his whole life is devoted to the merger of humans and machines. Okay, so it's more than just taking of the chip and the mark of the beast. It's also about, this transhumanism thing that these people have been pushing. So it's just something that everybody has to keep their eye on. It's pretty frightening to think about, knowing that, our brothers and sisters are not only going to get tricked into doing it, they're going to willingly do it after a while, because they're going to see it's safe. They're going to see it's not dangerous, because they're going to have the Kardashians and these people pushing it and making it look like, it's safe. I mean, another one of these articles talks about the microchip, and it says, oh, look, it's already fitted for pets. Some humans are getting it, but it's safe. One guy says, as a father of 2 and a 5-year-old, I'm a big believer in the future that all children will get chipped, perhaps like all children get vaccines in the U.S. I mean, that's what this guy, Istvan says. This guy's very, very dangerous. Talking about this stuff and being, pushing it, being like this political figure he's supposed to be, and being out there telling people about it. He says, this technology's been used in various ways with animals for over a decade, so telling people it's safe. It's crazy to me that we don't develop it.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Rakwah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, Wagwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawa Cup coming at you with another lesson. And today's lesson is going to be on this video. I think this is, as one of the elders had said, I forgot which one, but they basically said it's definitely good and important to do a video on the MOTB, once in a while and stuff like that. So I think this is a perfect opportunity. I didn't really do this much, but now I'm having the opportunity to do so. Hence why I'm doing this now. First things first, let's just get this out the way. Revelation chapter 13 verse 16, and he calls all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive an mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Let's just read also verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Basically here, the MOTB is a physical mark, contrary to what you have a lot of Israelite groups saying how it's a spiritual mark, or it's not physical, or whatever BS that they say. All right, contrary to all that, it is most definitely a physical mark. It's going to physically make it so that you are incapable of buying something, because you have to actually have it. And the thing is, I really want to, I'm not giving any credit to this guy over here, because I promise you that all those years ago, 6 years ago, I dead ass literally said this, said most of what he was saying in I think it's so crazy when I'm saying that I said this, okay? And I'm not coming from a place of arrogance. I'm coming just from a place of straight up facts, all right? Now, what I mean by that is, I literally said that the C9V, all right, was a rehearsal. I said that, oh, look at all these people. I was watching a bunch of different people say or getting it, publicly getting it. I literally saw live streamers go and get the stuff, and they were trying to say, hey, everyone, look at this, it's fine, we're good, see, look, it's just a little thing, it's just a little that it's not even that serious. Like, why are people so this and the third, whatever, and stuff like that. And while what the dude was saying is correct, I feel like he definitely he's been listening to the prophets, all right? Because I remember, maybe not me specifically, all right? Because I'm not going to be that arrogant and say something like that, all right? I'm not going to be arrogant, but I do want to say that the entirety of this whole thing where people, he was basically saying that people are going to, or celebrities are going to take it and do all this stuff. Well, look at what celebrities did. Look at what celebrities did for the C9V. They were all over here publicizing that. And then you know what happened when Nicki Minaj, I think it was Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, or one of those two black female rappers and whatnot. What happened when they publicly said, I'm not taking that shit, all right? Guess what happened? A bunch, I think it was the White House or I forgot, it was some government agency that literally said, hey, you why don't you come to us, we will talk to you so you can stop saying this type of shit or whatever. All right, and let me see, Nicki Minaj, controversy, fuck, what was it again? Yeah, all in 2021. In the 2021, I like to make my own assessment. So I don't even remember what she said exactly. But if she said, I just want to come to my own conclusion rather than just believing whoever and whomever, then she's over here getting demonized for saying, I'm just going to do my own research and whatnot. And then people were ridiculing her, making fun of her and saying, oh, Nicki Minaj is a fucking scientist. Why is she doing that? Why is she saying all that stuff and all that stuff? They were basically just ridiculing her and calling her literally calling her stupid for saying that she wants to have her own assessments and stuff like that. But is this it? I hate when they do that. Minaj would later add that she recommended others get the for encouraging people to blah. Alright, so apparently she changed her mind. Alright, apparently she quote unquote, I'll say quote unquote change your mind. All right, but you know that's basically how stuff happens. All right, as soon as your freaking money gets, as soon as people's money gets threatened, then they start singing a different tune. All right, you see what's going on. All right, and she was actually like genuinely like ridiculed all throughout what's it called, Twitter, where there was just Twitch streamers, other famous people, and just people in general just calling her stupid and basically making fun of her for saying that she wants to do her own research and whatnot. All right, so I just thought this was relevant to bring up to the conversation. But yeah, again, this whole thing it fits extremely perfectly. You know, I cannot in good faith call him MANASHAH, by the way, but I cannot in good faith give this man, this Edomite man, not obviously this brother is not the one that's talking this channel. That's not the person that's talking. He's re-uploading a video. All right, for educational purposes, of course, just as I showed most of the video, but I didn't show the whole thing. Although if you want to go check it, I will leave the link in the description so you can go check it out yourself. Definitely there's some good information in there, of course. But yeah, for the most part, I'm really gonna say most of the things that he's saying if I remember. But that's the thing where, you know, the whole, what's it called, celebrity appeal thing. They're gonna say, they're going to get people to say, hey, look at this, we're doing this, it's so convenient, it's so fun, it's so sexy, it's so this, it's so that, you're so cool, oh my god, women are gonna find you attractive, men are gonna find you attractive, all this stuff. A billion different things, where especially where people have in Babylon, people have an idolization complex for people have a problem with idolization. They always idolize people, celebrities and stuff like that, like Brad Pitt, Eddie Murphy, and all these different things. So they tend to copy the whatever they hear, because they think, oh, this person is rich, famous, and he's good looking, he's a great person, X, Y, and Z. Oh, Denzel is such an amazing person, so I just want to copy him. And then as a result of that, you know, people get led astray, just as so many people got led astray for the you know what. All right, and I can't even speak about that, because I dead ass almost got my channel my channel almost got taken down during that whole I think it was a year or two. I think it was around 2 years, 1 to 3 years of me almost either saying something or showing certain stuff, and then I just got locked out. I was so fucking scared. There was like I think there was a moment where I had two active strikes, and I was over here. I was still uploading. Sluggy, I was still uploading, but obviously, like, there's always the fear that while you're uploading, someone can just report and do that stuff, and then okay, well, you just lose your channel altogether. So that was what I was going through, but I still just kept on uploading, not really caring. I just thought, okay, well, let me just censor myself, and thankfully it did work for the most part. I did not experience anything, or I didn't get my channel this channel did not get taken down and stuff like that. So I was able to, you know, maneuver through the thing, you know, because I think it was 1 week, the first 1 week of 1 week of no uploads. Then after the week of no uploads, it's a month or something, 30 days or something like that, of you basically being in the red, where you're not allowed to use certain features and stuff like that, but you're still allowed to upload and whatnot. So basically, and I don't know if that they changed the thing, because I have not gotten a strike in a community guideline strike in a long ass time. All right, I think I did. No, it was copyright, so Slocky, never mind. But yeah, that's the stuff that's going on right now. And as I said before, all those years back, all right, apparently 5-6 years ago, I literally said this is, or not this, that the the V, all right, the jump shot was the V, the V's, all right. If you play Devil May Cry, V from Devil May Cry and stuff like that, and his nightmares and stuff like that. The V nightmares, all right. That was a rehearsal, because people were being threatened and saying, if you don't take this, you're gonna lose your job. We have to incorporate this in the thing. And a lot of people took it because they did not want to lose their job. But at the same time, a lot of people didn't take it, and they still kept their jobs through some sort of either finding another job, finding places that allowed or whatnot, or just trying to fight through the system and whatnot. On top of that, just in general, there were stores, because I remember when I was going to the stores, there were stores that was saying you're not allowed to eat inside, you're not allowed to come over here and whatnot, because you have to have your thing, you have to show card, and then you can come inside the mall, you can come inside and eat it at the food court and whatnot. Like these are the type of stuff that that they put in place that made, because the Babylonians love being outside for some reason. You pay all that rent. Okay, let me stop. Babylonians love being outside, so they incorporated a less stricter system, all right, than the actual MOTB. And then they said, okay, well, we're gonna bar you from certain things. You can't do this, you can't do that. But they didn't completely lock you out of buying and selling. You were still allowed to buy and sell, but the issue was, sometimes people lost their jobs. All right, sometimes people lost jobs. Thankfully, I didn't lose my job at the time. So call them YAHAWAH that we got, and that's the thing. It's so crazy to me because it's a very powerful lesson that you think, man, like this looks really bad. Like I don't know, like what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do and stuff like that? And then it's like you just have faith, and then the Lord makes it happen. Like that's how crazy, that's how beautiful, amazing it is. And now I'm not gonna talk too much on that, but just basically, the Lord made a way. The Lord makes a way for his servants. All right. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, lest Satan could demand an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. And Esau uses these celebrities as like, look at these great people, look at if not Will Smith, but I would keep on trying to default to Will Smith. Look at try to think of someone. If Chris Rock is over here, if Chris Rock is showing you a great example, if Chris Rock is, helping out, if Chris Rock is taking this stuff, and why shouldn't you? If Brad Pitt is taking this stuff, why shouldn't you? Or if Angelina Jolie is doing all this stuff, you should join us as well. Join the same thing. Do the same thing. We can all do this and whatnot, or whatever. All right, that was basically how their tactics are going to work. And again, as I said before, this dude did say that, all right, but at the same time, I depending on how long ago this video is. Hold on. All right, maybe this might be older. Okay, because it says 2016, but I'm not gonna say definitively that this was 2016 because you never know. Is there another indication? It might be 2016. Okay, it's fine, whatever. Anyway, and if he said it before 2020, okay, then I take that back. I'm able to say, okay, you know what, I was wrong. If he did say this before, I can admit when I'm wrong. All right, so good on him for knowing all that stuff. But just in general, I definitely did say this several years ago that they were going to incorporate these types of CHIPs in order to manipulate people. Okay, because if you don't take this, then you can't be a part of this stuff. You can't participate. You can't do this. You can't do that. And whatever. Proverbs 26 verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. And this also goes back into the UBI, which is the Universal Basic Income, where what they were saying that how they want to do it was they want to give free money to anyone that partakes into the system. So if you want $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever a month, I think it was $2,000 the last time I heard about it. But if you want $2,000 for free, like just for being a I think it was it's only in America, but so if they said if you want 2,000 USD just for being a U.S. citizen, and you have to take the CHIP, and then if you don't, then you can't buy and sell, you can't do all this stuff. But clearly they're slowly incorporating it to bigger things, as the talks of the MOT of the CHIP has been touch and go, on and off and whatnot. All right, so continuing on, Sirach chapter 10 verse, let's start verse 3. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them that are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So an unwise king is going to destroy his people. Esau is honestly destroying his people. He's telling his people, oh yeah, do this, do that, and whatever, and it's going to lead to their destruction. All right, now next, 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 11, and for this cause Yahawadah shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. The same way that these people believe the lie of the C9V, the V nightmare. All right, the V nightmare. All right, basically it's the same thing that's going to happen here, where these people think, oh yeah, Esau just wants to help us. It's believe the science, trust Esau, trust the government and whatnot. Well, and by the way, in addition to that, what happened was they were telling, they're also aiming to censor a lot of the things that people are allowed to say. Okay, we're not allowed to speak out against the government, and I think I uploaded a video like that like several years ago. All right. Now, Psalm chapter 64 verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil manner, they commune laying snares privily, they say, who shall see them? And that's the snares that Esau that we don't see. So with that, I pray this testimony is edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, MANASHAH, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, about ball, and shalom.